Hey Guitars. Let's go build some junk. Well, darn it, I forgot to push record, and you poor people missed out on a glue up. As exciting as it was, it's over. Full disclosure, since we jointed the middle edge on both halves before we stuck it together, there are a couple places where we're questionably tight on the template, but the template's just a guide. So we may shift the template around a little bit to accommodate each side, and then smooth out the difference elsewhere, which would probably be one spot at the butt and maybe up here where it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's just a little inconvenience. Remember when I said pine might be more trouble than it's worth? Yeah. Cool. A little bit of cleanup on the drum sander, and we have a body blank. So, funny story, the other day I was driving home from work, and I was thinking, how the hell do I do next. It's been so long, I might have to watch my damn videos, figure out how to do this shit. Okay, so with this particular situation, I always get excited and, you know, draw the profile, and then realize that I got to cut the taper first and cut the drawing off and do it all over again. However, I've never gotten upset about that because it never hurts to do it multiple times. Okay, what I've done here so far with my square, because at the moment this is actually a square blank, which is a rarity for me, a little bit of a treat. I marked where we want to chop the nasty end off, and then looked pretty roughly at where the 9th fret is. Now we may change the slant, but for the time being, for the sake of getting scale onto wood, I found where that was. I looked at my 2 fretboard templates to find out about where that should be up here, which we're gonna hope and pray leaves us enough room on the end. It should, and just enough down here as well. So we can figure out where to do our taper. My taper is generally 1 5/8 at the nut and 2 1/4, 18 inches down. Just seems to be about right. Alright, so 2 1/2 is easy enough for me to cut in half, but 1 5/8 isn't so much. So very often I'll get a piece of paper and cut to be 1 5/8 and fold it perfectly in half, so I have halves. So I don't have to measure it. Which is, you know, a handy thing when you're done. 18 inches down the road. Should be close to the end of the board. My problem in the past, because I've done a few 2x4 guitars, but I did them specifically for testing purposes, and the problem with that, if you ever decide to try that, is you tend to keep the mindset that it is cheap, trashy wood, and this isn't a real project, and you do lots of, you know, dumb shortcuts and stuff like that. I haven't sensed myself falling down that path so far, but it's something I want to be cognizant of because it can happen. Alright, I'm going to think for a minute and then we're going to chop this up. So, yeah. My strategy with something like this is I want to be just out. I want to be outside the lines as little as possible, but enough that it's consistently outside the lines. But also, for something like this, I'm going to bandsaw it and then I'm going to put it on the joiner to clean it up. So I want consistency in how far I'm off the line so that when you go to the joiner, it doesn't change the taper, if that makes sense. I hope so. Alright, so I did a little bit of sanding on the body and kind of drew what I want for some carves, but that was just playing around. Next steps, since I don't have a truss rod here just yet, we can get started on the fretboard. So, thanks for swinging by. It means the world to me that people actually watch and find some value in my goofy shenanigans. If you're one of those people, then do me a favor and like the video and subscribe so you can catch the, future junk coming up. So We always got stuff to do. So meet me back here next time. Bye.